page 12. This is what I'm calling gospel style triad pairs. You know, it's not just like gospel music though. It's just kind of like it's a gospel style. That's my best way to explain it. It feels like kind of soulful, gospel-y piano playing when I do this, but it's used in pop music. It's used in everything from Disney to to Boys to Men. And honestly, I listened to quite a few gospel tracks trying to find a great example of it, and I couldn't. I couldn't find one that was either simple enough or just like straightforward enough. In gospel music, it gets pretty complicated pretty quick. Or like at Kirk Franklin, it's kind of more simplified. So it's kind of chord to chord to chord almost all the time, rather than getting this movement stuff, these guys. So, but you can hear, it immediately gives you that gospel feel. You start doing this stuff, right? Alright. So, I'm going to walk you through page 12 right now, which is alternating inversions of two chords to create continued melodic motion. Is how I've written it here. So check this out. We're going to play. You can put your hands on these notes. Go ahead. I've got a root 5/8 in the left hand, just to give a nice solid foundation. You can just play a single note or an octave or a root 5, but you can play this too. Starting with a major triad, root position. And we're going to alternate the G and a D major triad, but all over G. So you can think of that as alternating the 1 and the 5, if you want. And that'll help you transpose it to other keys. So you see, there's your nearest inversion of D, right?
First inversion.
Yeah. And then you go down to the nearest inversion of G after that, which is this. And your nearest inversion of D, your nearest inversion of G, nearest inversion of D, and you're back. And back up. D, G, D, G. And you could go all the way up and down the piano like that, just D to G, D to G, D to G. Just basically going through the closest inversion progression between them in every inversion. Up and down, right? D, G. This is going to take a little practice to work this out. I showed this exercise to an incredible singer one time. He's an amazing musician. He plays the trombone, he sings anything, he's ridiculous. And he was trying to learn some piano stuff. Granted, he was like 50 at the time, so his fingers were kind of like calcified. But man, I mean, he had a very, very difficult time with this. So I don't take this exercise lightly. I understand it's tricky, right? But it's an awesome exercise. All right. So just walk it through real slow, and really let the theory guide you. G to D, G to D. Use your inversions. All right, and then we're going to do the same two triads over E. What is G over E? E minor 7. Right? So now we're in like an E minor 7 world, which is basically relative minor to G major, right? Okay? So we got kind of like G major 7 world here, and E minor 7 world here. It's kind of like Michael McDonald style. All right, walk them through real slow. You can isolate one pair at a time, just the first one, and go back and forth. Find a good fingering. I like this one where I've got these two fingers free. It's a little weird, but if you play it like that, then you can just reach right there for your D chord. It's a little weird on the G, but going to your thumb is a little awkward too. Experiment with it, do it your own way, arpeggiate it. G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D. Okay? Get the idea? We're going to move on to the next one, which is get over to G. And this is the other variation. Instead of the 1 and the 5, G and D, we're going to do the 1 and the 2, G and A minor. G major, A minor. See that? G major, A minor. Then, next inversion, G major, A minor. G major, A minor. Next inversion. G major, A minor. G major, A minor. And you're back. So it really takes you through the inversions. This one's actually easier to execute because you can really see the shapes together. Right? It's like root position, root position. First inversion, first inversion. Second inversion, second inversion. Alright? So you just get that, really gets you to get that shape. There's your first inversion shape, right? Like there's your second inversion shape. Right? You just cookie cutter that shape, right? And then there's your root position. Or however you want to play it. Like that. Whatever works for your fingers. Alright, now we do the same idea on E minor, except it doesn't work to go 1 and 2 in the minor. And G and A don't work either. So we're going to do D and E. Yeah, it's the flat 7 and the 1. It's like kind of the opposite. Or no, it's the same. It's just like the same relationship as a major triad and then a minor triad. So major triad, minor triad, major triad, minor triad. Just for melody's sake, I started on E here, but you might want to start actually on a root position. Sorry, in D, and go D. First inversion shape, D, E minor, second inversion shape. However it works for your fingers, you can play it like that, or you can play it like this. D, E, and D, E. What's written there? I'm going to play through all 4, exactly what's written, to give you a something to play along with, to practice with. Okay? 2, 3, 4. the next class is choose one of those that you like and transpose it to a different key. Just choose one. If you're ambitious or if you get it and your fingers can execute it easily and you want to choose more keys, go for it. But or you know, do more than one of these practices, great. But minimum, choose one, transpose it to another key. All right. And again, you know, once you can get creative with this, you can use these things to create melodies and do really fun stuff like. That's that.